Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there on a highly, highly anticipated show? Today, we're going to talk about something that became public, not by anyone else's doing, but the general public. We started getting sent a bunch of screenshots, screen captures the other day, Lund Racing did, from people that some remained anonymous, and then some of them went on Facebook and started posting screenshots of a tune file. So let me give you guys a real quick description of what that is. We'll talk about the sponsor, say hi to you. Then we're going to get to my nice long opening. So a tune file has a change history log, meaning when you make a change, it records it. It says at 9:59 a.m. and then it records the path. It records where you got the file from, at what time, and what you changed, and what the value of that change is. So that's something that stays on that file forever. Now, if you're really smart, there is a way of not having that recorded. Like if you're really, actually, you don't even have to be that smart. You just kind of have to understand that some things can actually not be on paper. But for whatever reason, the file that came to our attention, we don't have the file, we just saw screen captures, had a Lund Racing bottom line. Meaning what that means is at the bottom, the beginning of the tuning build had a Lund Racing Dropbox extension. Okay, and that's fine. Now, before we get way too off kilter, understand this. I don't care who built the file or involved in building the file. If I work for Lund and I make a change and it is a revolutionary change, Lund owns that. Anything I make with Lund software and hardware while I work for Lund is Lund. It belongs to Lund. If I work at Cisco, at Intel, if I work at Google and I invent something using their tools, they own it. I don't care whose name is attached to it. Lund is like the Borg, okay? We are Borg. Everyone is Lund. Lund is everyone. So in that same file, if you scroll up, all of a sudden you see another tuner pop up, another tuner's Dropbox, as if to say, this file was originally in a Lund Dropbox, and then it crept its way up, and about years later, you saw another Dropbox name, and you go, okay, now, at Lund, we suspected that was happening. We went, what are you going to do? Because if we go out of our way and start saying, hey, Ken at Palm Beach Dyno has some shit that has a Lund base file attached to it, we go, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to go out there and just talk shit on them? That's not going to serve anyone. That's not going to serve any purpose. But what's funny is in that same file, you scroll up a little more and all of a sudden another tuner is attached to it. So that means this file was used by two different companies to tune cars. Now, we've suspected that happening forever. Every time a new tuner either leaves Lund or gets fired by Lund and then props up their own company, and if let's say that company has some employees and then they stem off and do their own thing, we assume they have all the files. We assume that. Well, we go, well, what are you going to do? Luckily, those files are old. Lund Racing refreshes the files every 3 to 6 months. Lund Racing does a house cleaning, a kind of an inventory of what works, what doesn't. And then our files aren't any old. Our files are just not that old. They're just not that old, especially the new stuff. The new stuff changes almost weekly. So before we get way into that stuff, we'll talk about what I think about it, how I started being suspicious of tune stealing happening. And just because you guys are aware of it now doesn't mean that we're not aware of it. We've been aware of it for many, many years. So let's say hi and thank you to the sponsors real quick. And I picked up a new sponsor. That's right. We got a new sponsor on the way. We got Race Motive. That's right. It's a race league upper program. They do a lot of the roll racing stuff in the Poconos and Maryland International Raceway, MIR. Race Motive, racemotive.com. 2Auto Solution. Rami's out on 2Auto Solution. His birthday was yesterday. He's now putting tint on his Corvette. Who the fuck knows? Parts Farm, partfarm.com. Ultimate Header. We got Ultimate Header in the house. PMAS, Nick James, PMAS, DNA High Performance. He'll fight you. Kong Performance and Calimer Transmission. These are the people that actually keep the show going. So I'm always going to shout them out. And if you don't like it, don't fucking watch. Okay. Let's get to it. I started working for Lund Racing in 2015. And I was sent down to Florida from Houston. He said, I want to hire you. I want you to come and you're going to train with Ken. Ken worked at Lund. So I get down there. They put me up for a couple of weeks while I find an apartment and I start training. So the training process was non-existent. Let's just say that. There was no training. Fortunately, I wasn't being trained properly and I noticed it right away. Right away, I thought, I'm in trouble because I moved my whole life from Houston to Florida, and I'm being trained by a guy who's not training me. He's just not training me. I think he's more of a fan. He's just hanging out. He wants to make jokes, and I'm like, bro, I need to like start contributing to this whole deal. So fast forward, he gets let's just say excused from the company. We don't have to go into that because I'm not here to grind axes. Let's say he's gone. Now, he did not leave. He was basically said, you're done. You can't work here anymore for whatever reason. And before you say, no, he wasn't, I was there. I witnessed it in person, live and in person. I was there. It is irrefutable. You cannot say he was not given the heave-ho. So he starts his own thing. Now, in that whole process, maybe he grabbed some stuff that he felt he was entitled to and started tuning with it. I don't care. It has nothing to do with me. So fast forward, I moved to VMP. And at VMP, we did not have locked files. At the time, we would send out a file and it was not locked. And I started learning that people will draw a file if it is open to be drawn, indexed with either HP tuners, or they reverse it if they got some programming experience, and they would reverse the file and tune it. So how did I find out? Well, one time a lady we were tuning, a 14 auto, came back and says, I got retuned somewhere else and it made more power. So we drew the file and it was our file at VMP. Joe's not there anymore. We drew the file and it was our file, except with more timing at the top right. More timing at the top right. And I went, oh, people steal tunes? I didn't know that was a thing. So it popped up in my head, oh, people steal tunes and call them their own. Not a problem. So fast forward a year or two, I'm at a Carlisle Ford Nationals, and there's a Gen 2 Mustang with a Pro Charger on the dyno hitting a limiter. And the owner's like, bro, this thing's hitting a limiter, and I don't know. I'm like, I can data log it. And he goes, no. My tuner specifically stated not to have you data log it. And immediately I was suspect. I was immediately suspect. I went, why wouldn't you want to know the reason your car's hitting a limiter? I want to know the reason your car's hitting a limiter. What if it's running out of fuel? What if he goes, no. My tuner specifically said not to have anybody data log it. Why is that? Because the tuner knew that file that was in that car was a Lund file. I ended up getting a hold of the file later on. It was a Lund file. So that is a separate tuner. And I went, that's interesting. A separate tuner stole a Lund file. I sent the file to John Lund, and bada bing, bada boom, he verified, yeah, this is ours. Because there are Easter eggs in there that you go, oh, I don't know why that's in there, but I'm just going to put the file in there, add some timing, say I make more power, run it a little richer, bada bing, bada boom. So these are the screenshots that were put up on Facebook and all stuff like that. So again, we didn't put this up, but this was all over the place on Facebook. So this is what I'm talking about. At the bottom of a file, at the bottom, you see that these are the changes that was made to the tune. And right here it says changes the value file users John Lund 2, Dropbox, Lund Racing, and then you see that there's a file builder attached to it. Boom, boom, boom. So this is at the bottom of that particular file that was put. This was put up on Facebook. It's all over the place. Facebook, Instagram. Some people on Twitter even actually posted this stuff. And then the second screen capture shows, I guess, another tuners on the same exact tune. This is the same exact tune when you scroll all the way to the top, meaning the most recent changes of that tune was supposedly Tricky Trevor. He's out there, says right here, Trev Nut, Google Drive, NA Tuning, Tunes, da. So at the bottom of it, it shows it shows Lund. At the middle of it, it shows Palm Beach Dino. At the top of it, it shows Trevor. I'm going to tell you guys, I don't care, because we knew stuff like this was happening. We knew stuff like this was happening. We weren't really surprised. We were actually surprised that someone actually aired out some dirty laundry. We were like, oh, look at that. All of a sudden, this thing was being manipulated in a way that it's a base file that was manipulated by two companies. And we said, okay, but these are old files. Now, I don't suspect any Gen 3 stuff being messed with, but I don't know that, because there are some really talented people out there that love to reverse stuff. Now, in the middle of the time that I learned a lot about this in the middle of it, between the time I left VMP, Lund Racing, because Lund Racing said this: now that we can't train you down there properly, you're going to have to move to Pennsylvania. I said, no, I'm good. I appreciate it. I don't want to move to Pennsylvania. They gave me 3 months severance for me to get my shit together. In those 3 months, I thought I did enough to warrant some kind of like, hey, stay on board, we're training you. But I understand why they didn't want to do it, because they don't have any good control over the situation. And they just had to deal with a crazy situation that they had to let somebody go. Not a problem. So in the middle, I was trying to find some people to help, this and that. Files became available. People were all of a sudden, when I left Lund, all of a sudden, all these files started becoming available. So I was like, huh, interesting. Then I got to VMP. Then I started noticing that people steal, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So everyone goes out there and goes, Lund is always saying that everyone is sucking off our tunes. Lund is always saying that you guys are sucking off our tunes. I didn't post that stuff. So when we got a hold of it, we're like, well, yeah, it just verifies what we thought. But something else has happened also. In the middle of, let's just say, every single time an employee leaves Lund or gets put out by Lund, there's always weird shit that happens in certain people's wakes. Like, you find out stuff after the fact. And I'll give you an example. We had an employee back in the day that, let's just say this, Dakota one time was getting hit up by somebody, a couple of people actually, in a certain part of the United States. And they were like, hey, I want to revise my tune. Dakota's like, okay, what's your name? Says his name. Dakota goes on the ticket system. He goes, can't find him. And then another guy hits him up. He goes, I want to revise my tune. Dakota looks it up. He goes, I can't find you either. A bunch of people were getting tuned with Lund files, but not in the ticket system. And people were pocketing the money. And you find that out as people kind of leave and stuff starts percolating and wakes happen. Now, to me, that's stealing. It's one thing if you were to help somebody out and not charge or something like that. But if you're out there saying, I'm going to tune you, you use a Lund file, you charge for it while you're working for Lund, and then it doesn't show up in the system. And then those people, they hit you up and go, where's my revision? I paid for a Lund tuner to tune my shit in person. How come I don't have a file in your ticket system? And it becomes a bit of an issue. So, of course, fast forward, we're well into Gen 3 stuff. We're well into doing stuff. Everything's fine. Do you guys notice that almost everybody that tunes is about 2 years behind Lund? Why is that? Why is it that every single time Lund sets a record, you see somebody about a year and a half or 2 years later post a similar time? Why do you think that is? Why do you think it takes a little while for everyone else to catch up if everyone else is a better tuner? Again, this stuff is something we knew was happening for a very long time. We just happened to get verification. That's all. If you like your tuner to shove 33 degrees down your shit, bro, vaya con Dios, have at it. It's all good. But at the end of the day, people tend to kind of want good customer service, and that's where we thrive. So we said, well, we're not going to stop anyone from reversing or drawing files or patching files. We're just going to be better at customer service, and that's all we can do at the end of the day. But one thing that I want to mention on a personal level, what I find curious out of all these things is that, in my opinion, there is no coincidences. There are no coincidences, okay? So I'll give you a quick example. One person that I know was in 3 tuning style companies, right? Let's say that not necessarily Mustang tuning. Let's just say one person that we were involved with was involved with 2 other companies that got hit by the EPA. So there are no coincidences. You're telling me this guy went here, here, and here, and all 3 got hit by the EPA. Ain't that some interesting shit? So again, I think there are no coincidences when it comes down to that. Now, I don't name names. I'm not here to grind axes. What I'm here is to verify and let you guys know what you saw on Facebook and what I think about it. Lund Racing, if they want to talk about it, they can. But the door has been opened. The door has been opened. We purposely could not have, we purposely did not talk about this. Like, this could have come out years ago. We knew this information 4 years ago. We know, and we still know more stuff that we don't talk about. But it's public now. People have seen that there are Dropbox names with the Lund Racing thing on the bottom. Now, there's going to be people that are going to refute what I say. They're going to put out stuff saying, no, you did this, you did that. You know, Lund Racing stole my files. I'm like, really? Okay, got it. And that's one thing that people like to say a lot. That Lund. Well, how did Lund Racing get that? Lund Racing gets their tunes from Roush. Did you guys hear that apparently we get our tuning from Roush? You know those Boss tunes, you know those Roush Gen 3 turbo cars, you know those Roush Cobra Jet cars with cams, you know those cars? No. Junior, Senior started everything. Okay, Senior had everything set up. He brought in people to help bolster the, let's just say the production file system. Okay, and then what we do is we basically share that vetted file. Now, if there's a new platform that comes out, we either buy it or really get or have a customer bring it in and drop it out for a year and be like, let's just hammer this thing out. Let's just throw every power adder on it. The Blue Goose had every power adder on the planet. The Blue Goose verified everything Gen 2 6R80. Then we had an orange manual Whipple car, orange manual VMP car, and that verified everything from there. Now, those files are probably still being used today when we have moved on to completely different files by revising them with newer and newer calibrations so that everything works out. So if people want to work with 5-year-old files, that's fine. Go ahead. I'm not here to stop you. But what I'm here to tell people is if you see a Coyote tuner pop up out of nowhere and start running pretty damn good numbers, do some critical thinking. Do you think he vetted these files on his own? Do you think he went out of his? No, he probably did the smart thing. He goes, this is a vetted file. Why would I start from scratch and dial in every torque table, every cam angle, every table, every spark table, every drivability table, and best FE table? I'm just going to start with this file. This file works. I don't care if it's stolen or not or procured. So yeah, that happened. People are out there using old Lund files and it was verified today. Big deal. Like, okay, cool. I literally don't care. But don't tell me that they're not. Don't tell me that they're not. And I had a personal experience with the first part of that situation. I had a personal experience with that part because I was there. I literally experienced it. I became unemployed because of it, because they were doing some shady shit, got caught up in the shady shit, got put out because they were doing some shady shit. And what was the collateral damage? Someone like me that was out of a job. But again, ended up landing back on my feet, VMP, did some stuff, and Lund Racing hired me back about 4.5 years ago. So there you go. Now you're going to start hearing all these guys defend their guys. You're going to go on Facebook. You're going to go on Instagram. But he worked there, so he developed the file, so he has a right to it. If you think that way, that's fine. You start a company. You put up all the money for the R&D. You put up all the money for the cars. You put up all the money for the software. And then have an employee leave and use all your shit that you put into the company. Tell me how you'll feel about that. Tell me how you feel about that. Lund isn't tripping. I know one thing, that Lund is not even tripping. They're just like, whatever. It's all good. They'll get the comeuppance. And this wasn't put out by Lund. This was put out by somebody else on Facebook and Instagram. And apparently all hell broke loose. Well, yeah, you're right. Men don't use Facebook. You're 100% right. The only reason I saw it was on Instagram. Like, you got to talk about what? Then the guys filled me in, and I was like, oh, someone actually exposed that a couple of companies are out there using files? Crazy. Now, I did see Ortiz get lumped in it, Mac Attack. I'm going to be honest with you. I have zero evidence that Ortiz was ever involved in any tuning scheme. I have zero evidence that those guys were involved. I have zero evidence that Ortiz is involved in that stuff. I like Ortiz. His customers are weird, and they talk shit on Lund all the time, which is odd, but I don't have any experience with Ortiz stealing anything. Okay, apparently, from what I know, the guy seems to be pretty legit. He worked at Bama years ago, and he has been tuning cards, and we send him 3-valve stuff. If someone talks about 3-valve to us, we send them to him. We say, here you go, buddy. You can work with it. So as far as I know, Ortiz is not involved in any of this. All right, we'll take your questions, concerns, and comments, but I'm telling you, the tune, I don't really care about that. That's something that someone literally has to live with. They have to live with the fact that when you send a file, the base file was built at a company that is not yours. And okay, that if you're going to live with that and you don't care, as long as the car gets tuned and you're happy with that result, cool. I don't care. If you're not making the file from scratch, I get it. It's more difficult. It's extremely difficult. Hey, what would I do? What would Alejandro Flores do if shit went downhill? I'd look for a vetted file, but I wouldn't call it my own. I say, oh, it's a vetted file. Because then someone's going to call me out and go, no, you need to tune it from scratch. And I can tell you there's probably 3 tuners that can tune from scratch, and it'll take them a while to remember what they had to do. Lock every single angle in, lock every torque table in, and reverse everything with spreadsheets all over the place to be able to tune the car how they feel it should run. I think it's someone that has worked with each of these companies. Oh, interesting. That's stealing flat out. Even more employees sign the company, plain and simple. No, right, exactly. And again, if you're a customer of the companies that were named in the posts, I'm not here to make you not go to them, but the proof is the proof. And again, those are 11 to 17 files. I don't know anything about Gen 3 and up. I have no idea what Gen 3 and up stuff is, but 11 to 17, because I worked at Lund up until early 2016, I can only assume everything 11 to 17 is probably based on a Lund style file from people that are out there all of a sudden popping up and blowing up. All of a sudden people are tuning. I'm like, interesting how that goes. It's like consuming someone else's cocaine that you're supposed to sell. Like you said, Alex, funny that Lund got the 10R80 shifting right, then other tuners started getting them to shift right. And again, I'm not here to, obviously I defend Lund. Obviously, I work for Lund. I defend Lund. I think they're doing great things. I see what we do every day. We have a very good system. But you can't tell me some guy that has a little office somewhere and a 1-bay garage and has never owned a Coyote car, or maybe one, all of a sudden is tuning 10R80 twin turbo cars that make 1,000? Like, you guys got to do some critical thinking. Tuning doesn't just pop up and just happen. Now, I've told you guys that some software lives off of the draw. Okay, so some software wouldn't even be a thing unless you drew the file with that. Now, can you build files with all the available software that's out there? Absolutely. You can build it and do an okay job. But in my opinion, that's why we think all the way up to 2020, it's the saucy stuff. We have the saucy stuff up to 2020. 21, 23, it seems to be an even playing field. It seems to be everyone has the same access. You don't see Lund Racing tuning 7-second 21 to 23s. You don't see anyone else tuning 7-second 21 to 23s because it is an even playing field. Do you see us running really fast with F-150s? Yup. Matter of fact, not only did we get better, because I'm sure some F-150 tuners out there are probably mad and saying, y'all stole my tunes. Well, if that's the case, why are we quicker? Like, if that's the case, why are we quicker? Like, it's one thing to be exactly running the same number you're running or slightly slower, but we're like, it's like a second quicker. And obviously we have people like Midnight that do the vetting and do the transmission stuff and the R&Ding, and we have Power by the Hour who's willing to work with us with 6R80 stuff. So it takes a whole fucking team. So if one guy all of a sudden in the middle of nowhere has a 10R80 car shifting like a robot, going down the track, running 7s, you got to use your fucking brain. Common sense tells you who the best tuning is. Are these tuners able to tune with SET devices? I think so, because we don't. At the moment, we do not. So that tells you a lot right there, because up until 2018, 2019, I think, or 21, we were able to. And all of a sudden, that got cut off. So any tunes, like you could tell I guarantee people that rely on Lund Racing base files, because all you have to be is kind of smart and be a good, let's say, programmer. If you're good at programming, not many things I can do to lock my file so you don't have it, if you know what you're doing. But at the end of the day, if that file ever gets drawn and someone calls you out on the fact that it's not yours, this looks like a Lund tune. And again, I haven't called out people on a personal level, except maybe the person I worked with. And again, I don't think he's doing anything, I want to say, illegal. But if you want to do like a morally wrong thing, sure, you could make that argument that in terms of morals, that file 11 to 17 stuff should be 100% from scratch from him. But that's not my decision to make. I don't have to live with that. I don't care about that. Let's talk about other companies coming out with features like multi-tune, timing ramp, anti-lag after the Lund release. That's a little odd, right? No, Carter's TV. So that's a good one. So PCM Tech is separate. PCM Tech is like an HP Tuners, where they can sell their a layered format to anybody. But what I find, what I don't like is that Junior had to do a lot of things to make certain things work. Like he had to do a lot of things to make, for example, the anti-lag stuff work. It's not a thing where it's a neutral rev limiter. Like a neutral rev limiter where it holds it and you let go, okay. But if another company starts hitting it and it starts making crazy popping sounds without them having a two-step installed, I start going, interesting. But it's difficult, in my opinion, to draw something that's PCM Tech based. I think more. Okay. I know this is old news, but there was a rumor going around that Lund encrypts ECUs if you lost or broke your N-gauge or RTD. Not even Ford could revert it to stock. Sounds dumb, but thoughts. I'm just gonna say that there's certain things like Ford looks for a factory style strategy when they plug in, and if they don't find it, they're like, well, can't find it. I don't think there's like something in there that we can literally like block stuff. It's just not being able to find the strategy that's being used. I assume Lund won't go to them for IP infringement. No, that's the other thing. There is no. What do you sue for? It's more ethics than legality things, in my opinion. It's more ethics than legality, because you have to every day, and you could do mental gymnastics around it all you want. You could say, well, I helped build the files. Well, so did I. With hardware. I had a F-150. We vetted some of the files there. Changes, what I thought should happen, what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing, what I'm logging, what I think should change. The white car, all manual 19 calibrations, multi-tune with manual 19, all that stuff vetted with my car. Do I have a right to that file? No. I am sacrificing my hardware for the greater good. Lund, the GT500, a vetted race file. Like, stupid. It's old, but we adjust and tweak here and there depending on the conditions. So do I have a right to any of those files? No, absolutely not. I work for Lund. They are Lund Racing files. So if this person believes that they're not doing anything wrong, fine. If this person believes they're actually capable of tuning it from scratch, I challenge you to do it. I'm not saying you can't, but I'd love for your file to say nothing but your Dropbox on it. And no, not by saving everything and dumping it onto a clean file. No, by actually building it from scratch. And then you can see what you're made of. Like I've done that a couple of times with my red car. I built a file from scratch with my red car. It ran pretty good because what is what. What suffered? The drivability, the trans breaks up, the special stuff that I don't have access to. I agree. I don't think it's worth going after someone legally. I don't think it's worth it at all. But again, it's a conscious thing. But knowing what I know in this coyote tuning world, no one has a conscience here. Like, everyone is okay taking everyone else's shit, and there are forums dedicated. There are forums dedicated to reversing Lund files. Hey, I got a Lund E85 file and they upload it, and some programmer tries to reverse it and they have a little trouble trying to reverse it. So I'm blown away by that situation. But then there's other people that skate. There's people that go from this company to this company to this company. Before they were selling tunes in a parking lot. Now they go to 3 other companies. Then they go somewhere else. And those other 3 companies get EPA visits. I think that one is the most glaring one of them all. Like, really? Like, all of a sudden, 3 companies that you were involved with get hit up after you visit or deal with them? Interesting. It kind of is what it is, Ron Lowenberg. I don't think we're mad about it. We internally knew about it. So we would have conversations all the time. Hey, did you see this guy ran 7s? Yep, probably a Lund tune. And guess what? We would make fun of it. It's probably a Lund tune. And we would actually have little icons that would make fun of the fact that it's probably a Lund tune. It's probably a Lund tune. And a lot of people say, but Alex. The Lund Dropbox folder, the changes were all the way at the bottom. And everything at the top was years in the making. So is it even a Lund tune anymore? Yes. The base of the tune, meaning the torque tables, the spark, all that stuff, that is the beginning. That is the foundation. You don't have a strong home if you have a weak foundation. I don't care how much shiplap you put. I don't care how many rooms you put. I don't care how much siding you put. I don't care what's on top of the foundation. If the foundation is solid and strong, everything on top of it is going to be easy changes like spark, injector data, cold air data, shift schedule, clutch schedule for the converter, everything. It's simple changes. It is not massive torque table reconfigurations and cam timing changes. It's like little tweaks all the way up the row. Yeah, it's Garage Built Coyote. Stop it. It's like torrents, feeders, and cedars. Been through that tuner drama. BS went Lund and with them ever since. It's definitely IP theft if Lund copyrighted their tunes. If you could go after people, it's probably not worth the money. No, I don't think it's worth any of that. And again, the tuners out there that have been named by that post on Facebook, which that's the reason I'm doing this. I could have done this. Guys, you know I alluded to this years ago. Guys that follow me, you know I alluded to this a long time ago. And I didn't mention it. Why didn't I mention it? Because I saw no upside. I go, what's the upside of mentioning this? Unless I have proof. And then the crazy thing is, I have proof. Tons of it. But it is not my decision solely to put out there people that are doing wrong by Lund. Because that, to me, that's kind of douchey. But hey, it's on Facebook, Instagram, and everything else. So let's talk about it. Because I got so many messages from you guys saying, talk about this. And that's what I'm doing, talking about it. My personal experience with people involved in those things are not positive. I've never met Tricky. I met Ortiz once and he was not involved. As far as I know, he's not involved in any wrongdoing. And I worked with Ken for about 3 to 4 months. And I said what I had to say about that. I don't think you can copyright calibration. You can't copyright your radio sound settings. Bass file is the hard work when you just build it on from there. Please like this live so those thieves can see this. Again, I don't think it's steal. Well, okay. Okay. So let's take it through the mechanics of how someone can end up with those files, right? Let's say I work at Intel and I am a badass computer chip programmer and I hear rumblings that, hey, there's going to be massive cuts. There's going to be massive layoffs and you might be on the chopping block. Now, at that moment, if I decide, shit, I've worked on this stuff for 4 years, I can't just let it go to waste, and I start saving it in an alternate location, you can make the case that that is stealing. But again, what are you going to do? What are you going to do at the end of the day? Are you going to go after them? Are you going to literally go after them and say, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Probably not. Probably not. You're going to go, whatever. Like, we'll just move on from that situation, do your thing, and we're good. I know one thing. I signed an NDA and a non-compete. Let's talk about that. I signed an NDA and a non-compete, a non-disclosure agreement and a non-compete, meaning I could not work for any other company after theoretically I was let go because they said, hey, we can't train you, so you got to find something. I said, okay, no problem. I returned the laptop. By the way, at the same time that I got let go, a bunch of files became available on the internet. A bunch of files were thrown all over the place, almost as if to sabotage Lund, whatever. When I went to VMP, I said, I can't tune for you guys. I am under a NDA that lasts a year. So I was going to go work, just go grab a job. But Justin Starkey, shout out to him, and John Lund Sr. talked. And John Lund says, I just want to make sure you're not using my shit. I said, I don't have access to your shit. By the way, there's a bunch of shit out there. Have you seen it? He goes, I've seen it. I said, okay. So I'm here to try to make a check. And they talked it out and got me out of my NDA. I did not sign an NDA. Actually, I did sign another non-compete with VMP. And I talked to Justin and I said, I'm going to go work for Lund again after 2 years. And he was okay with it. Everything was on the up and up. Nothing was weird. I didn't take anything from VMP to Lund or from Lund to VMP because the two bosses talked and wanted me on their team. Say what you want about me. Call me a bitch. Call me a whatever the fuck. At the end of the day, you are lucky to have me in your company because I'm going to work fucking hard for you. And the Lunds know that and VMP knows that. Yeah, I don't know anything about Wenger, but he talks shit on Lund, right? He's probably an okay guy and he's doing what he's supposed to do, but I don't know anything about Wenger. I don't know that he stole anything. I have no idea. He is not a named source, but he talks shit on Lund all the time, like all the time. And that's okay. Like, look, it's friendly. It's competition, right? If Wenger is out there tuning an 18 Mustang and someone asks his opinion on Lund, he better not say they suck at tuning, I'm better. He'd probably say, fuck them, but their cars are fast. Like that's the right attitude to have. That's the right attitude to have. Fuck them, but they tune good, right? I don't know shit about Wenger. He tunes. Some of the cars make some power. That's all I can say. I really don't know the dude. It was 100%. Intel would 100% come after you. Exactly. Intel would 100% come after me if they found out that I took the files I was working on while under the Intel umbrella and I used the code, the naming structure, the whatever that was attached to them. And I'm going to tell you another little thing that when I was working at VMP, because we found out that people were drawing the VMP files and adjusting them, we contacted software companies to try to lock the files. People were drawing the file because it was open. We were tuning with SET and HP tuners at the time, put it in, boom, other motherfuckers had the file. They were drawing it, changing the injector data, and Joe worked really hard on those base files, Gen 2 specifically. Like Gen 1, in my opinion, was mostly Justin Starkey. Gen 2 and up was Joe Goodenough. So Joe was like, we got to lock these files, bro, because I don't want my hard work, because Joe worked every day, every night. Okay, Joe was a hard worker, and he didn't want the files going to just some Joe Schmo. Now, how many of those files are VMP based? How many tuners out there have VMP based files and Lund Racing based files and have no idea what the hell it's actually made of, except I know the injector data and I know the cold air data. How the file works, I have no idea. Many tuners are like that out there. Thank you, Chase, for the $100. Appreciate you very much. Jacob says, greetings from Cali. I'm going to pick up a Gen 1 motor RPG. Okay, let's keep it on this stuff. I love you. Wenger doesn't trash talk much. He's in his own box. No, he's not, Alexander. I've seen it. He talks a little shit, which is okay. That's chippy. It's all good. I'm like, hey, bro, talk that shit. That's good, but don't lie. Not that he lies. I'm just saying, don't lie. Alex is teases Bryson Witt. You don't have to do that. You're already a mod. I appreciate the $100. You need it, bro. You need it for your POF membership. Why did Joe leave VMP? I'm going to be honest with you. I think Joe's talent can take him to the six-figure realm. And I think he just hit a wall there. I have not talked to him. I have not, have not had a heart-to-heart with the dude. But while I was there, he was getting paid what I was getting paid. And I'm like, that's not right. That's not right. That guy, Joe, is $100,000 a year motherfucker. You understand? When you have a Joe Goodenough, you pay him $100,000 plus. And you don't make him work a second over 40 hours. Because he'll work for you. Don't worry about it. But I'm sure that Joe was like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just done with it. Because I think Joe can code and do good stuff out there. And he's got, great opportunities in front of him. Yeah, Garage Build, competitive chatter is all good. If Wengert is out there saying, man, fuck Lund, I'll fucking gap him any fucking time. Cool, that's funny. That's funny. It's all good. We like it. I like the energy. Jacob Albel gave me $5. Thank you very much. And again, if you guys think this is a hit piece on Ken, you got it way fucked up. This is just verifying what happens out there in the tuning community. Someone out there put it out there. Lund Dropbox, Palm Beach Sino Dropbox, and then Trevor's Dropbox. Now, again, I don't know what agreement they have, right? If Ken has an agreement with Trevor, because Trevor used to work for Ken, and if they have an agreement to use my files and maybe like a licensing program, I think that's fine. I don't care. And if I was to ever leave Lund, heaven forbid, and I was to say, John Sr., I want to have a powwow with you guys. I want access to my files. I don't want access to anyone else's shit, and I'm willing to pay you licensing for those files. I'm willing to pay you, whether it be a monthly note, whatever. I am going to tune my own cars, yes, with the base files that we've established here. I don't think they'd be against that. I think they'd go, we trust you. Here's 3 files. See you later. And I don't think it'll be an issue because I think we have that kind of camaraderie. I don't want access to the Dropbox. I don't want access to an 11 Auto. I don't want access to a Gen 3 10R80 car. I don't care. Michael, I'm saying, is this happened to me? Easter eggs are key. There's no good solution. There's not really a whole lot about anybody can do about it, unfortunately. And you know what's even worse? ZFG Racing. You know what's even worse? When a company helps someone reverse the file. That one hurts my heart. That one hurts my soul, right? I don't have verification that this happens. But again, I'm speculating. Just like I speculated that a lot of people had Lund tunes in their shit. I speculate that someone sends in a file and all of a sudden it gets reversed by someone we know and boom, they have it. And now all of a sudden they're King Daddy Gen 3 10R80 tuner. I'm happy I switched from Palm Beach. Okay, again, I don't want it to be a PBD versus Lund thing. Number one, there's no competition. I want him to do his own thing. I don't care what happens. That's him. I'm not here to kick a person while they're down. I'm here to let you guys know what I think about what got made public by someone else. Easier to spread misinformation than correct information. Reputation is king. In the end, everyone will know who's legit and who isn't. You know what's funny, Lord Ritsu? No. People are tribal. People right now, right? Okay. I want Trevor to make money. I want him to make money. I want him to have a career. I don't know what agreement he had with his old employer. I don't care. But I don't hear him talking shit. I don't hear Trevor talking shit. I don't hear, you know who talks shit? The customers. We have one big loudmouth right now propping up something, almost as if they're juggling nuts in their mouth. Constantly juggling nuts, like nonstop. Me, and then they mention Lund, like a fucking broken up girlfriend, juggling nuts. So I'm like, all right, whatever. It's the customer that's the issue. Almost never the person that owns the company, because the person that owns the company knows better. And they know that we know that they know better. Shit. I saw the new motor for the Lund's black car from Fast Forward. How long did that motor take to build? I don't know. I think we've been in talks with them for a little while now. But the guy, Joe seems to be super awesome. And he's close by. He's literally down the street from Lund Racing. Didn't Ford get sued for something like this also? Like, okay, for example, have you guys noticed that the Ghost Cam tune was a Ford thing at first? Remember? The Boss had the track key and the track key had the Lopi idle, right? Then Lund had a similar aggressive choppity chop happening, but Ford only did it on Gen 1. Gen 1 Boss, they had the choppity chop on the track key, done. Lund had it on Gen 2. Lund had it on Gen 3. Lund has it on Gen 3.5. Lund has it on 2020 GT500. Lund has it on some boosted applications. Lund has it on turbo applications and GT350. So you could say, well, you guys stole Ford's Ghost Cam. Well, they did it on Gen 1. Everything else was developed by the Lunds. So if anybody else has a Ghost, listen to me. If anybody else has a Ghost Cam idle, and again, some tuners are very smart and they can develop it. But I would say if there's 10 tuners out there, two others can make properly choppity chop ghost cam files. It is not just shoving the cam somewhere. It's not just shove the cam, she's going to chop automatically. No fucking way. There's a lot more involved. So, not every tuner's out there sucking off a Lund file, but every single time I hear a ghost cam idle tune from some guy tuning out of a fucking shed somewhere, I go, where'd you get that? Kind of off topic, but I have a PO300 code on my 2012 FBO Cam's car. I was told to do a crank relearn. Well, I need to reflash the car. No, you don't need to reflash the car, and you don't have the file. It was dyno tuned by DBR. Interesting that it was dyno tuned by DBR, but you need a crank relearn, and you don't need to reflash the file. Talking crap about whatever makes me more popular. You're right. Look, this show, a lot of people are going to listen back to it and probably take, again, it's tribal. They're going to go, doesn't matter, bro. We still support you 100%. That's cool. I'm not here to take, again, if you're willing to stay with a tuner that has a known Lund bass file as their stuff, at least up to 2017, vaya con Dios. But let me tell you this. You're Lund tuned. You are Lund tuned. Understand? Anytime you say you got a record, you're Lund tuned. Anytime you say your tuner's the best, you're Lund tuned. Anytime your car runs a number knowing the bass file at the bottom has a drop box with John Jr.'s shit, it's a Lund tune. Just did a 547, 60 to 130, 125 millimeter test and 85% Valley 10-speed tune. Thanks, Lund and Alex. Look, a verifiable, repeatable tune working with Eliza's S550. That's a quick 60 to 130. So, Alex, does Lund still do the Ghost Cam tune? Haven't seen it on recently. Yeah, you must not be around much. We do it on, the Ghost Cam tune is almost an automatic at this point. When people smell, I literally was looking at this. When people buy a tune, they automatically request a Ghost Cam tune. And not all, again, no CJs have Ghost Cam tune, no F-150s unless it's like multi-tune stuff, and 11 to 12 boosted cars don't have Ghost Cam tunes. What's even more messed up, says Mac Attack, is the people defending them saying that they don't care as long as the car runs well and it's not their problem. That is the American consumer. That's the American consumer. Exactly. Can we talk about the fact that haters have the tune that of the company they're hating on? Could you imagine you have an 11 to 17 Mustang tuned by a competitor saying fuck Lund, and then you get in your car and go, this thing runs so good. It's a Lund tune, bro. Exactly. That's going to be the next YouTube show. Ordering that great value Lund, 69% of Mustangs are Lund tune as of today. Rad Dad says, can't encrypt the file in an OEM computer. The encryption has already been decrypted if it's being tuned. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Yeah, I don't know what happened with them. They're taking a week to get back a year ago. Now they get back to me in a couple of hours. Maybe that's good. Okay, a year ago, they would get back to you in a couple hours. Oh, look, I don't know. I don't care. I want everyone to make money. The pie is huge. But understand, 70% of the pie is built by Lund Racing. Can you tell how old those base files were? Now, Jew, I think it's up to 2017 because I left at 2016. Right? 2016, sayonara, see you later. I'm not employed anymore. And I think up to then, which 15 to 17 is cross-flashable. Up to then, I think some of those are based with Lund. After that, I don't know. I truly don't know. Helix, 19GT, is there a known solution for the intake cam phaser idler issues? Timothy Fush, hit me up. I'll make one change that seemed to help on my car. We'll see if it works for yours. Y'all must have good airlines. Do you think tuning companies would pay for a service offering file security? I have a way to protect files whilst using your desired tuning software. Braden. We've had that. And you know what ended up happening? They took it. Lund Racing has been fucked mostly by programmers. Lund Racing is in the hole to programmers probably $300,000 that I know of. Oh, we're going to make a website that does this. Okay, here's $50,000 to develop it. Nothing happens. Hey, I got this device I wanted to, and I want you to front the money, and then I'll sell it back to you, and then you could sell it. nothing happened. Like, constant getting hosed over shit has been done by programmers. So I'm sorry, Braden, I don't think Lund is open to having any programmer come in. Because okay, Braden, let's say Braden, you're a good guy, right? Because I think you were involved in reversing some of the stuff. Let's say you come in, because now you can do it, right? Like you can do it. You can reverse a Lund file because it's built in a certain code that you can fuck with. Got it. What's preventing you from making $4,000 a week tuning on the side? What's preventing you from tuning 12, 15 cars a week? Now, if we give you the keys to the castle, now you got the mother load. I'm not saying you are going to do it specifically, but I'm saying people that have weak morals, weak ethics, just pieces of shit dirtbags that have weak ethics and morals. And they're contracted to protect us, and then in the end, fuck us. And it's only happened 10 times. So I think Lund Racing is done playing that programmer game. The pie is big, but Lund cream pies. The rest, nice. Everything you say sounds like you're aiming at a certain person, but not saying their names. No, Danny Venegas, no. See, that's the problem. People are going to interpret what to interpret. I only worked with Kent for 4 months or 3 months. Everyone else, now, are there other people unnamed? Yeah, absolutely. But I have no axe to grind. The people that were made public were the ones I mentioned. The people that were made public were the ones I mentioned. Ortiz was lumped in there, and Ortiz, in my opinion, has nothing to do with this. I think he was just lumped in there for the hell of it because it was a funny meme. If you make it more difficult for a customer to download a file, most likely it would not be worth the headache in the ticket system. I have no interest in tuning or selling other people's work. I understand. I could just offer all this knowledge to RTD and make more. I understand. Braden, look, if you want to reach out to Lund in the ticket system and let the powers that be handle it, I really can't just, come on in, buddy. If you want to play that, we'll see what the deal is. But honestly, we have such a bad taste in our mouth from specifically programmers that I don't think they're looking to do that at all. Government description right there, right? So no remote tunes. I mean, look, he could tune remotely, but the programmers get pretty good. Programmers know. Okay, no one knows the ins and outs of a tune better than a programmer, right? He knows what's being protected, what's being drawn, what this and that. So that's when we call bullshit when someone says they patched something. I'm like, bullshit. Like 100% bullshit. You just turned up the boost a little bit, or you finally fixed your computer issue, or you finally fixed your harness issue. You finally fixed. Look, stop. Just stop being a liar. Okay. So we see that, and we don't want to engage in the back and forth. Let them speculate. Let them think we're talking about them. Let them do their thing. I don't care. But programmers specifically are the worst guys to get involved with. I've met Lund Senior and Junior, and they're class act, true caring Americans. They develop it first on their own cars with their own time and money. Cause I love your dude. Shitty gave me $20. Says, cause I love you, daddy. Think about it. Alex says, Alex, you stole my meme. Can I have some cookies? By the way, Don't My God Cookies is not on the banner anymore because I want to focus on more of a car thing. But I highly urge you guys to keep going there. Support Melissa and Lake and buy their cookies at don'tmygodcookies.com. don'tmygodcookies_LLC. There, got that out of the way. Just so if you wonder why the banner isn't there, they're just not a sponsor anymore. And I added Race Motive, and we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways because of Race Motive. I posted the meme on the S550 page. Right, exactly. 80 Cub retracted a statement. Appreciate that very much. Who knew a patch was needed to fix a bad wiring job? That's what I'm saying. And AED, I have no issue with Sean. Sean isn't out there popping off. I know on the EPA stuff, he got a little sideways, but we haven't gotten messed with EPA. Again, you guys use your brains. One person worked for us and 2 other people that got hit by the EPA. There are no coincidences. I'm sorry. I'm one of these guys that I'm not that smart, but I know that if somebody was in 3, let's say you went to this building and it caught on fire, then you went to this building and it caught on fire, and then you went to another building and it caught on fire. I'm going to go, you might be setting fires. Rat motherfucker. Hello, Al. Make me a Lund tune, but don't want it to be a Lund tune. Another thing about Lund is they specialize in only Coyote. All money and time into bringing the Yodi to its knees, and it shows on the tunes. Watch out, Alex. Bunch of Ghost Watchers. Oh, look, I guarantee people are in it, and they're going to make rebuttal videos. Rebuttal of what? I literally put out what the internet said, that y'all Dropbox showed a Lund base at the bottom, and I told you my experience with an ex-Lund employee. What is there to refute? And the rest has been just fucking around talking shit. It's too coincidental to be coincidental. So we're not getting the cookies that smell like Melissa's lotion? No, definitely not. Man, I can't wait for the day until you retire and just set fire to the whole industry. I don't want to set fire to the industry because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I feel like I'm an outsider in this. I'm one of these guys that comes into it. I think I'm a millwright still. Like I go to a carbureted Mustang and I feel at home. While most of the people that work in this industry look at a carburetor and they're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Correct. Because you need to have some engine knowledge, not just computer knowledge. Like you need to get in there and actually start understanding what's happening mechanically. And most tuners don't do this in this industry. They just go, well, I put in the tuner and it doesn't work, so it's your fault, tuner. Then you find out they don't have their MAV sensor plugged in, or they extended a harness or two. I have a CS degree. Hire me. I can work on all the C and C++ files you need. No, again, I love you. Programmers, to me, are just toxic because you guys have a lot. I don't think Lund will ever hire an in-house programmer and give him full access. You'd have to log in on 17 different virtual networks or 14 different virtual networks to be able to access one file. And that's the way it should be. No direct access. Because then all of a sudden, okay, guys, up until 2017, you knew of maybe two tuners, right? Actually three. Up until 2017, you knew maybe three tuners: Bama, AED, and Lund. Like that's all you knew, right? AED specialized in the NA game. He got into S550, Bama's Bama, and Lund. How many tuners are out there now? Before you say, well, the platform became more readily available, stop it. It's still a very difficult platform to tune. So all of a sudden, there's at least what? Double the tuners, triple the tuners, 9, 10, 12 Coyote tuners out there running 8, 7s on Gen 1. When I hear a guy that does not own a Coyote, has never owned a Coyote, when I hear he tuned a 11 through 14 6R80 car with a trans brake and bumps in sus with a 6R80. Sus. I go, oh, shit, you're on the chip? You're bumping in, aren't you? Oh, where do you tune out of? Oh, I tune out of this little office that has a shitter in it and a little desk. Oh, so you didn't buy this car, vet it on the dyno, decompile shit, program shit. No. I just use commercially available software. I'm like, oh my God, you are smoking crack. Most programmers are lazy. That's the one, Izzy R. That's the one. Programmers are lazy. 50%. 50%. We call some of them not 50 cent, 50%. Because if these people would apply 100% of their talent, they would kill it. They would kill it. But no, they go 50%. How many times did I see a programmer do 50% of the project that was put out in front of him and then just quit? And Lund is guy, so where's my $50,000 investment? Where's my $100,000 investment? Fluid Turbo is a great representation of mismanagement. I can't tell you really nitty-gritty details, but Fluid Turbo was a brainchild of Senior and somebody else was supposed to manage it, and nothing happened. Why? They had no skin in the game. Lund put up, I think, what, $300,000? Right? 300? Like, Lund, hey, Junior or Senior, if you're on the chat, Can you put on the chat how much money you had invested in Fluid Turbo? Anybody on the chat that is at Lund Racing HQ right now. I don't want to put the number down because they think I'm lying. So I want a Lund to put on the chat how much money in investment they had in Fluid Turbo and how much they lost because of mismanagement. Bro, crazy money. Life-changing money. Programmers like 40-hour weeks. Facts. Got a programmer friend, and he's the laziest motherfucker I know. Yes, Slow 99. Yes. Heard a rumor of friends. Finland made short work of a 2024 Mustang GT ECU. It's definitely going to require a bench unlock before user can flash right. And then when it tries to phone home and doesn't, that's when the trouble starts. How many businesses had a tuning platform that didn't work out in the end? How many businesses had a tuning platform that didn't work out in the end? As far as I know, Edwin Martinez owns a Fluid twin turbo Gen 1 car. He knows, and he was one of the first people. He's one of the first people that had a Fluid twin turbo kit. Edwin Martinez, puro pinche 956 a la verga, cuz.
Puro pinche 956 a la verga,
He knows the number. He knows the number how much, again, Lund Racing lost this money. Not the people in charge, not the people that were tasked with taking care of shit, not the people told to do their job. Lund Racing lost that money. Big money, stupid money. Rad Dad says, I'm not lazy either. My job involves after sales. I get dividends from my installs. JPC was around back then, but not too known. JPC, I like Kevin McDonald. Kevin McDonald is a good guy. He is a tuner. And we had a friendly relationship with him. Like, we had a friendly relationship with, we like to talk to other people. See, we're not, yeah, the number 4 kit, exactly. Edwin has the 4th kit. We don't mind talking to other tuners if they're willing to hit us up and say, I'm having this problem. Have you seen it? Senior is insanely personable in person. He loves to pick up the phone and talk to people, and he loves to chit chat. And at the end of the day, he might like go, hey, I'll help you out. Because he's that guy. He's like Jake. Jake is that guy. Hey, you got a problem? I'll help you out. I got you. But what happens is these guys get egos because we're in competition with each other, and they think that talking to Lund is like beneath them. It's so stupid. Yeah, I would suggest, I would think that Lund Racing lost in Fluid Turbo over $300,000. I'm just guessing. I hope they would come in here, but they're probably busy with their families. I'm here talking shit. Bro, when your tuning company turns to a parts dealer and installer, it's game over. I have the badge. Yeah, I don't know why Rob Shoemaker left PBD. Look, I've met him maybe twice in my life. I'm just saying if he was happy, he would have stayed, or if he was getting paid, or maybe he wants to do his own thing. I don't know. I don't know the dude. What up, Edward? None of business says I smoke weed and then I tune. Slow 99 says CAD design, development, R&D, paying people for all that. Lund is probably in it for $500 to $600 for the Fluid kits. And mismanaged. The problem is this. A lot of people are putting the carriage before the horse. Brendan says, if you can get me in contact, I'll happily make a platform to protect files in conjunction with your favorite tuning software. I will require no payment for any work until it's done. I'm sorry, you're going to have to do it. I love you. Look, the problem is this, Brendan. It's a trust issue. I don't know you. We don't know you. I want to be able to like reach out and touch you if you get stupid, but we don't know you. So again, support at lundracing.com. Say who you are. Say what you can offer. Let the big wigs handle that. At the end of the day, I'm not going to try to recruit anybody from anywhere, because then if you fuck us, it's my shit. Actually, I lied. There's this solution for 21 F-150 ECUs. Presumably all ECUs at the same point are MG1 not readable. Then we get to see what's what. Supposedly, HP tuners, you have to bench flash them, and then you can tune it with RTD. Supposedly with SCT, you have to initially have an external device flash it directly, and then you can flash them with the X4. I think it's already been taken care of, but that's 21. 22, I'm not 100% if it's the same thing. And 24 Mustang, if it's the same family as 21 F-150, then I'm sure tuning shouldn't be that big of an issue. But again, if Ford is making anti-tampering devices, mechanical anti-tampering devices, don't you think that's a big red flag? Don't you think that's a big red flag? Alex is a couple of pay grades besides above janitor. Talk to Lund. They can make that decision. Exactly. I love you, Braden, but you have to talk to Lund on that one. No, stop it. He started tuning. You got to stop it. You got to stop it. Mustang Lifestyle started tuning. I tell you what, no idea how to tune. I don't care what files I don't care if he's got the most vetted Lund file on the planet. That kid can't tune for shit. Love you. Sorry. I'm going to say it because I got personal beef with that dumb motherfucker. Gotta love Alex keeping it real. Exactly. Bro, not even a member. Rob is tuning in Puerto Rico directly. No, in PBD ticket. Carlos Arroyo? Again, that's what Carlos Arroyo said. I'm not here to piss in Rob's Cheerios. I don't know the dude. I wish him all the best. Don't care. I've literally never dealt with him, ever. First tuner I know about was Eric Brooks back in the day. Yeah, the Cobra stuff. I missed the beginning of the show. Which company got caught with the Lund sauce? Base tune. It's on Facebook. It's on Instagram. It's everywhere. Bro from Rust and Lifestyle can't even drive and gave up on his car. How are people going to trust him to tune? Exactly. Look, I don't know. But let's just say now files are just being thrown around. Because, okay, this is the problem too, right? If a tuner works for a company and like me, I'm remote, right? I'm remote. I have all the shit here. All the shit. I got the keys to the castle here. Lund Racing trusts me. That's just it. Lund Racing trusts that I'm not going to go tuning cars on the side like a fucking psycho. 1, they pay me extremely well. 2, they trust me. 3, I'm happy. I'm literally happy at the job. Why would I screw that up? The problem is not a lot of people have my work ethic or at least my loyalty. A lot of people out there are in it for themselves. They think they can make a quick $4,000 or $5,000, but the problem is it's always going to come back to haunt you. People are going to go, "Hey, I got a tune from the at a slideshow. I was at a slideshow with my boys, and some guy's like, "Hey, I can tune your car. I can tune your car, man. It's not a problem. All you need to do is make sure that we can, get the files drawn off, and then make sure that everything's good, and then you pay me cash." So, okay, you're at the slideshow, you get tuned, you pay $500, you think you're in the system. Then let me throw a JLT in this bitch. Beep, boop, boop. Hit up LundRacing.com. My name is Joe Schmo, and I want to get a revision. Who the fuck are you? It's happened. It's happened here. So the remote, now, if someone like a Palm Beach Dyno and have remote guys, how do you keep tabs on those people? How do you keep tabs on a guy that's, in the West Coast, on the East Coast, up, down? I think they don't care. I think they go, whatever. As long as they provide a certain amount that whatever's assigned to them is done, I don't care. Whatever's assigned to them, I don't care. Just do it. But what's to stop them from going to the local track and just tuning cars? I'm loyal to those cabs. I'd rather get tuned by Tour Viate than Mustang Lifestyles. Is Mustang Lifestyle the guy whose girlfriend was... Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Not you with the sauce. Stop it. I'm not here to talk that shit. I read a tuner left and went to Lund, but I'm not on the up and up. No. Like, people think I worked for him. I never worked for Ken. I worked for Lund Racing. Ken was supposed to train me. He literally didn't train me on anything. Like, literally not a damn thing. You think Turvey could tune my LRN gauge? I can make money on the side at my job, but I don't do it out of respect. Greed destroys good characters. Got that baby daddy free tune. Yeah, it's a red flag. Tuning factory ECUs isn't a forever thing. Eventually, we just won't be able to. I understand, ZFG. I appreciate you saying that. A lot of people don't understand that the moment you start tuning cars, that the government had a lot of influence in protecting. Because if it was up to Ford, guys, come on. Let's get some critical thinking out of the way here. We're not here juggling nuts. So, if Ford wanted their car to be highly desirable, don't you think they'd make it open and accessible to everybody so the aftermarket can really make it fast and make their product look good? Ford doesn't want to lock you out 100%. You know how many engineers' kids went to college based on some people giving them shit? Stop it. So I think this is the government mandate saying lock it up because we got EPA laws we got to protect, and you got to make this car fail safe. If you move a screw from the throttle body, if you look at the car the wrong way, it should fail safe, and it should phone home reporting that there's a fail safe issue. So the moment you take your TCM, ECM, whatever, put it on the bench, kill the communication back home, unlock it, put it in your car, all the lights turn on, but the car's tuned. All the lights turn on, but the car's tuned. And then people start saying, I'm Lund tuned 2024. What do you think's going to happen? I'm a little leery about that, bro. You sound like Prince, and he was talking about people sampling other songs and it becomes samples of samples and they claim their own because they sang over the beat. Still OG song. I saw a post a couple of weeks ago that a known tuner left Palm Beach Dino and that he was going to go to Lund. No, that never happened. Not sure if that's really happened. He went to VMP, or maybe I have dementia. You have dementia. I think Rob left Palm Beach Dino, and happy trails to him. He's doing his own thing. Trevor used to work for Palm Beach Dino. Cool. And then another guy, I think named Kyle or something, he also left Palm Beach Dino. And whatever, people want to do their own thing. And Ken will be fine. Ken will make money. Ken is actually, I'm going to say something that's going to blow your minds. Ken is actually talented. Ken is actually talented. But what is his biggest deficiency? His effort. His effort. I've worked with him. I've hung out with him back in the day. He's lazy. What I lack in smarts, programming, and just being able to absorb stuff, I make up with my work ethic because I come from a blue collar type of mindset. I'm there to work. My life is work. I live to work. I wake up to work. I go to sleep working. I wake up working. I think about work in my sleep. It's the effort. You're talented. Your effort is 30%, 40%. If you put 100%, nothing else, shut up, down, tune, kill it. Sorry. And again, I'm not here to say, I don't want to say positive shit about him because in my opinion, my first year or two in Florida were affected directly because of shit he did. But water under bridge, don't care. If he actually sat down and put some effort in his shit, like real deal effort, fuck YouTube, fuck all that shit. He'd do okay. He'd do really good, actually. Call me crazy. 40-hour workie, I don't know. Y'all, can I be frank? Beating up on 392s and Mustang? Yeah, that Can I Be Frank channel's badass. I wonder if Tricky and the other guy chat right now praying they don't get roasted too much. They're not going to get roasted. People are going to forget about this show. People are going to go on about their lives in about a week. They're going to forget this even happened. And they're going to have 10, 15, 20 orders tomorrow each. Tricky's going to make money. Ken's going to make money. They're going to make money. Maybe someone will scraggle and say, oh my God, I can't believe. It doesn't matter. The consumer goes to Harbor Freight and buys up everything at Harbor Freight. They don't care that it's made in China. They don't care that a kid died putting the chrome on the half-inch wrench. They don't give two shits. They go, it's cheap and I want it. That's it. That's how it's going to be. Oh, stop it, Nardi Mercado. Come on, stop it. Lots of people don't have pride in their work nowadays. I also grudge race against Pookie with his Hellcat tomorrow. Do I need a tuner vision? Run pigeon toes and chocolate milk at 550. Holy shit. This guy is a fan. He literally put everything together in one paragraph. I can't wait to get tuned by you. I'm on my third Coyote getting the ESS G3 soon. Hey, come on down, brother. Well, can you also give advice for Kelly Aiken Bicho? Now, look, we already talked about him ad nauseum. And the problem is this. Those guys are tight. Ken and Kelly are tight. I don't want nothing to do with it. I want nothing to do with it. Do your own fucking thing. I don't want nothing to do with it. The Houston Astros got caught cheating. I don't see the 956 abandoned. Exactly. The Houston Astros literally cheated their way into championships. Banging on drums, telling them a fastball's coming. They still had to hit it out. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They go, hey, champs. So, a week from now, Palm Beach Dino is going to run an 8 in a Whipple GT500 and go, look at us. And people are going to go to them. Good for them. My gripe, and not really a gripe, today people wanted me to talk about this. Now, there's a name that is missing from this equation that's the biggest piece of shit of them all. But I have no personal axe to grind against the dude. But he's a piece of shit. And he knows he's a piece of shit. And, again, if he set fire here, and here, wherever he goes, a trail of destruction follows. He is an EF5 tornado. Wherever he goes, a trail of absolute fucking destruction. So if it goes sideways with some people he's dealing with now, none of us are going to be surprised. Just like today, we were not surprised that this shit became public. We will not be surprised if the shit he's doing now goes totally sideways. We go, oh, it took that long? Man, I thought it'd be a lot. I thought it'd be a lot earlier than that. Scissoring Go asks, would you ever sell your foreign innovations fuel system? I feel weird about that one because I think I'm going to end up with a Gen 2 again one day. So I don't think so. Let's not forget about Deflategate and the Patriots. Tom Brady still hailed as the Messiah. Correct. Brady cheated. The Patriots were literally filming other people's practices. 7 rings. Well, 6. We need 30% coupons and 0.8 lights every visit. I wanted to bring my 01 down and let you check it out. I do not want to tune any other one else's stuff. I love you, BRB7J Hurricane 109. What a fucking name that is. I don't want to be even known as a 01 tuner. I literally just want to get in my car, tweak it a little bit, and just be a happy dude and do Lund racing files for badass coyotes. That's all I want to do, man. Love you. I appreciate it though. Now there's no need to air them out because there's no real reason to. Like let that relationship with whoever he wants to be in a relationship with, let it just run its course. And you know what? If he ends up being successful and stops setting fires to places, happy trails to you. But I just don't think that's going to happen. Think that EF5. Stop. Oh my God. You guys have to be a little happy this went public and it verifies everything you've been saying for a while. Look, I still think there's going to be people that are going to go, it's still real to me, damn it. There are still people out there. I don't think so. I think somebody manipulated that video. And cool. I don't care. We honestly didn't cheer. We didn't do a wave. We just kind of sat there and went, wow, someone actually aired out some dirty laundry. Crazy. But we knew it was happening. But again, think about it this way. If we knew it was happening and we didn't say anything, what does that say about us? Like, think about that. I understand you might hate Lund. Let's say you're a ghost watcher right now. There's 600 of you. By the way, thank you so much. Let's say you're a ghost watcher. I went a little later. I'm not doing the dating channel because I wanted to do this. Let's say you hate us. You hate our guts. You think we suck because for whatever reason we treated you wrong, or we didn't suck your dick right. We didn't edge your head. We didn't give you the deep throat. We didn't lick your balls. Whatever. You know, you're like, oh, they didn't give me the royal treatment. I'm somebody. The fact that we've known this has happened for 4 or 5 years and said absolutely nothing. Not one thing. Not one motherfucker.
Not one motherfucker.
What do you think about us now? Because we could have gone out there and blown them up. We could have gone out there and blown them up and say, look at this. And you guys would have thought we're just Karens. You're a Karen. You're a stupid Karen. Look at you, Karen. But now someone else got a hold of the shit. Reversed it. Look at that. Oh, bada bing, bada boom. It has Lund and 2 other companies in the same tune. Now, that is pure laziness. I knew how to get rid of that when I worked at VMP. I said, oh, what is this file history? Oh, that's, and I'm like, will this get rid of it? Joe's like, yep. I go, interesting. PK, what's up, brother? It said missed a ton, but I'll rewatch the first half. It's a good one. Again, the people watching today are not going to be entertained. They just want to hear tuning gossip. They want to hear the shit talking tuning gossip. And all I've done is verify what's already out there on the internet. And I've given you a little bit of my experience with it. But guys, there's a lot more. That is the tip of the iceberg. Tip of the iceberg. The EPA stuff is what really has me pissed off. The EPA stuff has me fucking red. The fact that tuning companies will work with somebody that's a known, not tuning companies, period, will work with someone that's a known thief. I'm blown away by that because this is the way I look at it. A lot of people, I'm one of these psychos that I want to know your history, right? If you are known to be a tremendous piece of crap, I don't want to deal with you. And some people go, well, he hasn't fucked me over. I have a personal friend right now that works with somebody that is an absolute thief. And I had to distance myself from that friend because he is 1 degree removed away from somebody that has been just full of drama. And I go, you know what? I'm going to just not say hi. I'll say hi in passing. But he loves this person. He thinks they're great because they never fucked me over. Well, they've never fucked me over. So why should I not talk to him? Just because he screwed over a whole bunch of people? Yeah. I'll catch a replay tomorrow as I haul that black gold. The rivals, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Fuck Joe Biden. Sasso. Exactly. This is better drama than Twilight Saga. People on the chat a few weeks ago saying that what is Lund going to do to get me as a customer? Dude's wanting a hand job with the tune. Correct. Like, what is Lund going to... Like, when Rob left Ken, I'm sure he had his reasons. Good for him. You know, some people want to grow. But again, he had access to those files. So you wonder, are you just getting another Lund guy? Right? Like, are you... Again, up to 17, 18, 19, 20 and up, that's all, in my opinion, had to have been done by them. But up to 17, you can make the case that the old shit is our shit. You can make that case. So let's say he also had access to that shit. Any 11, 17 car he does it have Lund at the bottom? So again, whoever you get tuned by, it's 75% probably a Lund tune. I'm still pissed the Engage is gone. Rest in peace, the GOAT tuner. You're not wrong. The fact that there's people selling intakes, working with them, thieves is whack. Yeah. Oh, shit. Look, I'm just reading your comments. Guilt by association. Can someone drop a page in the meme where I can't find it? Karma's a motherfucker. I don't care about karma. I don't think karma's a real thing because the bad guy wins a lot. In this industry, a lot of people think I'm the bad guy. Could you imagine that I'm the voice of reason? Could you imagine that a guy that got into tuning at 38 years old and he was a millwright and a mechanic and a grunt and a dumbass and just a stupid son of a bitch that made dumb videos is now the voice of reason on the Ford side of things? Hell, maybe on tuning, period. There's a lot of people out there that tune and they can't talk worth a lick. Like, they are not entertaining. They're fucking retarded. They say dumb shit. Imagine that I'm the voice of reason and you think I'm the bad guy? Like, you think I'm the bad guy. Okay, cool. Jacob says, new member here. Sorry if you said it before. I got a built Gen 1 2-way Kenny Bell RST clutch. What's a good horsepower number for a stock MTD2 before it goes kaboom? They go kaboom stock with a healthy clutch. So I made 650 for a couple of years, but it's all about the clutch. The RST is going to be the fuse that saves it at the end of the day because the gears are the weak point. No giveaways. Sorry, buddy. Love you. No giveaways today. I'm waiting for Race Motive. Guys, I'm going to give 2 shirts away on Sunday. And then Tuesday, I'm going to give thousands of dollars of stuff away. You'll see. Been there, dropped a good friend because he physically saw someone screwing me over out of money and made work life suck on purpose, but he still hung out with them and treated them like family. Nope. If you fuck with anybody that I don't fuck with, again, if you shout out suspension company guys that tried to get my job taken out, I want nothing to do with you. I want nothing to do with you. If you're 1 degree removed away from someone that caused my job to go away, I want nothing to do with you. Maybe I don't hurt you I don't like you on a personal level. Maybe I don't dislike you on a personal level, but your decisions to keep people like that in your life make me not want to be around you. So if you deal with people that have personally affected my income and complained or done stuff on the background to try to get me in trouble, and you fuck with them, I don't fuck with you. It's real simple. What's he saying donations? Why does he keep saying donations? We gonna know if making 18 plus from scratch real soon. Exactly. The tune doesn't cost what the final revision is. It costs what the amount of R&D and time invested in the previous revisions are. Correct. Wait, I only get 1 tune? Well, how many do you want? How many tunes should I send you so that you feel that I did a good job? That tune has been sent to 5,000 people. Stop it. Take that, Elon Musk. Exactly. Okay. Turvy works. FJG says, so my 18 could generally be tuned without using a Lund bass tune if I went to another tuner. What? So my 18 could genuinely tune without using a what? I don't know what the fuck he's saying. If someone builds a file on their own 100% from scratch, yeah, it won't be Lund based. It'll be 100% based on whatever. But again, when I hear a 10R80 car hit the shifts at 8100 perfectly and run a 7.0 or 8.0, a 7.9 or 8.0, my antenna goes up. I go, hello? Not many people are doing that. Who tuned that? Oh, such and such. Really? Then I go to his Facebook page. Then I go to his Instagram and I go, his history is null and void. He doesn't even exist. He doesn't even exist up until 2 years ago. And he magically pops up and tunes a 10R80 twin turbo car to run 820, 81, 80. Stop it. Alex, you might have been screwed. You might have been screwed, but what if those things happened and you didn't want to land where you're at now? SVT Snake, what I have that a lot of people don't have is extremely tough work ethic. And I'm pretty damn I got a lot of what do you call it? I've been out of work many times. I've been in the gutter many times. I've been homeless. I've been everything. So if someone talks shit about me on the internet, it's not going to affect my life. If someone caused my job to go away because they were lazy, I'll get over that. And I did. I lost everything. Guys, understand this. You got to understand what a domino effect that caused. Okay. And not to get too personal, but everything was lost. Everything was lost because of my first stint at Lund Racing down here in Florida. I thought I had it made. I was making good money. I'm in Florida. Everything's good. I start to see that I'm not getting trained. And I go, holy shit, this is going to be a problem because I am in a production atmosphere. Okay, I'm in a production atmosphere. So I have to make money for the company. And once the company saw that it wasn't working out down here, they said, hey, are you willing to move to Pennsylvania? I go, fuck no. Fuck no. I said, well, we got to let you go. I said, okay. I don't blame the Lunds. I blame the other guy because he was lazy and didn't do the right thing and train me and get me up to par on shit quickly. So I lost everything. I lost the job. I lost everything. And I don't get too personal. Everything was gone. So it took me 2 years to build that back up. 2 whole years of my life. Shutting up, head down. People like Jay Tucker out there made fun of me. I remember that. I'll never forget that, Jay Tucker. Never for your fucking life will I forget your stupid ass going online talking shit. Never will forget your stupid motherfucking ass. And anything you make, anything you push, anything you try to promote, I'm going to shit on it for the rest of my life. You understand that, buddy? You understand? I will shit on it for the rest of my fucking life. And if my following grows up to 1 million motherfuckers are going to know that you're a piece of shit. Get that fucking straight. And others are going to get that treatment eventually. But again, when I was down, I took a lot of notes. I shut my mouth, got to work, ended up being in a good spot. Hey, Alex, the edit on the file is a PBD edit, not tricky. Trevor clarified that normally he doesn't say anything. It's clear what happened. Trevor was at PBD at that time. Okay, then fine. Is he tuning 11 to 17 cars? And if he is, you can make the case. I'm not saying he is. If he's tuning any 11 to 17 cars, you can make the case that they're Lund files. If he's not, I'll take him at his word. I don't know him. I don't have any axe to grind with him. This is just reporting on what I saw. But if Tricky Trevor, went out there, started tuning, and made his own files from 11 to 17, 100% from him, from scratch, shout out to him. Is that possible? I don't know. You haven't lived the life unless you've hit rock bottom. Is Jay Tucker JLT? Yes. I regret having a JLT catch can. You should regret having anything JLT in your car ever. It is always built to shit. Garbage. That guy's a tremendous piece of shit. He's the type of guy that'll roll up 5 deep up against the guy that's 5'5". Like he did that at a track. Bro. Like 5 deep up against a guy that's 5'5" for shit talking on the internet. Being down makes you appreciate being up. Look, I'm happy. But again, today's episode was talking about the revelations that some tuners are out there using Lund base files, which we knew. We 100% knew. And now there's just verification. So let the shrapnel fall where it's going to fall. In a week, everything will be fine. Everyone will be getting tuned again. Everyone will be getting, and this will all be forgotten. But for today, boy, was it entertaining. So again, guys, go out there. Don't juggle any nuts. And make sure that you get Lund tuned, because at the end of the day, everyone is Lund tuned. All right, guys. Crazy. I'm out of here. Thank you very much for hanging out with me for a little bit. Again, guys, nothing personal, just reporting on what's happening out there and personal experience. But Jay Tucker, yeah, fuck you forever. All right, guys, I'm out of here. See you guys on Sunday. Peasant Chat. We'll talk some shit, give away some shirts, see what the fallout is of this channel, and more shit talking, and we'll go from there. Have a good one, guys. See you guys later, and